Dr. Kat. Thank you for joining me as I discuss my cancer journey.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. It is Monday. We are running on a different time today, just for a couple of sessions, possibly, as we're just accommodating some schedule issues. But welcome back to CBD with your favorite PhD and certainly my favorite PhD. Good morning, Dr. Kat. How are you?
Good morning, Carmen. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So, Dr. Kat, we acknowledged last week that this is, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and you were kind enough, and in my opinion, very courageous and brave to decide. We decided that we were going to share your story regarding hemp CBD and your diagnosis. This is your personal story of what you yourself have experienced, and I'm just going to turn it over to you, and please share with us what you would like us to know about your story.
Thank you, Carmen. As everybody knows, a story can be there's so many things that go into the story. It's so hard when I was trying to think about how I can share my story today. What is it that I can share? Obviously, it puts someone in a vulnerable spot, but as I've mentioned so many times, Carmen, my journey is to use myself purposely to help other people. And that's where the CBD has fit in. And I think that there's so much shame. There's so much fear around the word cancer culturally across the world. And we've mentioned before that people don't even use, the word cancer because it's so scary. And things are changing. And if we keep something a secret, we won't have the knowledge. And there are several components, and I'd like to talk about the components to making us live longer and survive cancer at another episode. But this is part of it, and it's knowledge, sharing, communication. And so what I want to talk to you a little bit about is who I am or who I was, because our personalities might not change. Our temperaments might not change, but our personalities can change. And it's always about improvement. And this lesson definitely of cancer showed me that there's improvement in life of things that we can do. I used to be a person, and somehow I still am. I'm catching myself constantly because of my cancer experience. Someone who constantly multitasked, rushed. In the story you presented on Confidence Strategies 101, where I shared my story, you asked me a little bit about myself. I talked about how I multitasked, how I had so many businesses. And you also said, what was the first thing you thought about when you had cancer? And I said, I was pissed, I was angry. But that's one of the emotions. It wasn't the first one because, when you have children, family, or none, it doesn't matter. You go through an intense grieving process. So what I used to do is I used to pride myself on being able to do so many things, and started at age 12. And at an event, many years ago, before cancer, I had a party, and this is what was gifted to me. And I wore it.
I love it.
It's a cape. And
Right.
You guys out there know who gifted it to me. If you're there. I dance, and I'm going to post a picture. I have myself, with long hair down, to my waist, before I lost all my hair. And, feeling like I'm acknowledged because I did that. And I know now that we are not super women. We are women who are super.
I love that differentiation. Thank you.
Yes. And it makes a difference. It makes a difference. So 7 years ago, I'm a big advocate in being in healthcare. I talk about, especially for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, please check your breasts, check your body. And if you see anything unusual, immediately contact your healthcare provider and check it, monthly, regularly, daily in the shower. That's what I was doing. And I was very busy, and I probably delayed some of my checks. Breast was better than asking that And I continued my therapy. I wasn't satisfied with calcification. They found calcification, and they said that to do a bio where I found the cancer. I was told to have to. I thought I had excited and said, you know, it was just not a suspicious area. I had cancer in both breast and lymph. I started immediately. Thing going on. I don't think it's our system. We check them. And I didn't have a decision. They took me straight from the double mastectomy into chemotherapy, which lasted for a long time. It was a very strong chemotherapy. So I lost my hair. And then I had 13 weeks of radiation in 6 areas every day. So it was pretty intense. And there were times, you know, with the chemotherapy, they say that the chemotherapy is what makes you feel sick. And indeed, you know, I was normal and felt normal, even though the cancer would have killed me. But the chemotherapy, the process, you know, very quickly. And because all of my counterparts know that I'm in natural health sciences, they would bring little brown bags of cannabis to try. And I felt really bad one day. It was a weekend, it was a Friday, and I couldn't get a hold of my doctors, and I couldn't imagine that I'd go through the whole weekend without, you know, with that much pain and discomfort. And so I tried, you know, the cannabis that was given to me. But unfortunately, that I felt really distant from my pain, and I felt good. And I knew that it was helpful. And I'd like to talk in another session about THC, CBD, and how it works, Carmen, with cancer in the body, because we know that THC can work killing cancer, CBD can halt cancer. There's a whole bunch of research coming out and has been seen. So anyway, I decided to use the CBD for the pain and discomfort purpose at that time. And I could feel myself distancing, but as I always say, it was a little cookie. I took a little bite and it was an edible, and I ended up eating the whole thing. And I had what I call a THC nightmare. And so from there, I started working because I knew the value of it more with a higher dose of CBD until I just got the CBD. CBD was able to help me to relax when you are on super steroids. You're feeling okay, you're not, you know, you have all this energy and you can't sleep at night. So it was very calming, the CBD. And I found out, new, as I said in my studies, you know, how cannabis had been used for thousands of years. And I think 70 or 1930s, prior to that, it was used as medicine here in the United States. And not only do I have a cancer journey that I can share with everybody and can break this down, but also how the CBD, the hemp CBD that we use today in my practice, can help in so many different ways. And we've talked about all the symptoms that people have during cancer.
Right. No, thank you so much for sharing. I know that this is definitely a story that has multiple layers and so much more that you can share with everyone. But at least to drill down and sort of encapsulate what your personal journey was is really important and so appreciated. I think that it opens up the dialogue for a lot of people who maybe would love to talk to you more in depth or learn more in depth. I wonder, and this just occurred to me, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I wonder if one day that you're able to write the story of your personal journey, is possibly a book or something, in the future. Is that part of your plan to share more details, if that's something that you are wanting to do
So
more?
I have published the emotion, the feelings, and my children and my husband. Like I said, this is so in such a long process that it's 7 years, and I just finished another surgery, and I'm going into another one in December. And so it is a journey. I am here. I am alive. And yes, I am in the process of writing a book, and the book is connected to the disc. And then you go from your operation, then your radiation. And during my chemo, even though I didn't have hair, I couldn't stand up. But I did get certified, and I'm also a psychoanalyst. And so I can post my story that I have written. And when the book comes out, as you know, I'm writing a CBD pocketbook. Is that they go out in snippets, and as I go from superwoman to, now I know, survivor.
Right. And champion and warrior.
and so the survivor story is in process. I cannot rush anymore. Even right. I think the survivor, the superwoman, would have had those out. And now I just know I'm taking step by step, and the universe will tell me what's right. But I always want to stay connected. And I will post a picture of me dancing because I think it shows, the different phases and stages that we go in our life.
That's so wonderful. Thank you for taking the time to share with us today. And for those that would like to reach out to you, how do they get a hold of you? How do they get, hemp CBD consultations? Therapy that they may be looking for? Where do they reach you, and how do they do that?
Thank you. So at our center, because I'm so passionate about all of this, I created an integrative wellness center, and it's called Insight Wellness Center. It's a center that houses like-minded individuals, where the individual comes and the healers and therapists work around the patient so they have the best center. We have other therapists that work with oncology. We have CBD specialists, and a whole array. Ask questions. We're here to answer them. Site.com.
Great.
216.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your personal story with us today, Dr. Kat. Again, thank you all for watching. Maribel and Veronica, I can see that you were watching and you stayed with us. I know that I don't know one single person who has not been affected in some way or another from this cancer experience, whether personal or losing someone that you care about. And so I think this is it's a very important topic, clearly. And I think for us to just remind each other as women, as colleagues and friends and sisters, to go get checked. This is the month of, just reminding each other and supporting each other to do that. But we hope you'll join us next time. And thank you for joining us today on CBD with your favorite PhD. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you, Dr. Kat.
Thank you. Hope, awareness, fear abolishment to take action. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.